What's up, guys? It's me, Markus Schulz. It's time for another video blog. This month, video blog is right here from the studios. This is the Cold Harbor Studios where I create all of the music. Now, every month, you guys write questions, and I'll answer them. And I have this month's questions right here in front of me. So let's get right down to it. First question comes from Thomas in Germany. We know that you were born and raised in Germany. Do you still speak fluent German, and what are your fondest childhood memories growing up in the country? Ja, ich spreche noch Deutsch. Ich war in Deutschland geboren, so meine erste Sprache war Deutsch. I was saying that I was born in Germany, so my first language was German. And I remember some of the most fondest childhood memories that I had were like playing basketball outside. That's where I really developed a love for music. We would be outside playing basketball, and somebody would always have a radio, and we would get mixtapes from the States. And I remember listening to the mixtapes, and you know, we'd try and get copies of the mixtapes, just like you guys are trading sets and passing them along. We used to do that with mixtapes back in the day. Somebody would record a mixtape from a radio show in the States, and next thing you know, it was circulated all over the city. So that was really some of my fondest memories. I mean, you know, to really develop a passion and love for music that way. I can totally relate to you guys that are listening to the show and going to the events every week, every month. So yeah, that was the first question, and question number 2 comes from Miskov. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Miskov in Warsaw writes, what are your earliest memories of DJing and producing? Was there one specific moment where you knew that this is what you wanted to do in life? Yeah, actually I started off as a breakdancer, spinning around on the floor. I had my little crew, and one time what we did is we decided to throw our own party. And I had everybody in my crew was going to take turns on the turntables, and we would practice scratching and mixing all the time. And then it came time for the party, and I remember everybody else got cold feet because the place that we rented out, it was a banquet hall in a hotel. It was packed, and everybody was nervous, and I was like, I took over the decks, and everybody else disappeared, and I wound up DJing the entire party. And I remember I just felt right at home behind the turntables, and I remember saying to myself, like, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. Ironically, there was a nightclub in the hotel as well, and the manager from the nightclub came up to me at the end of the gig and offered me a job. So that's how it all started for me, breakdancing and then a breakdance party. Next question comes from Samantha in Hartford, Connecticut. Hello, Samantha. She's a big fan, always tunes in. Sometimes I see her in the chat rooms. She writes, we have all loved you bringing back your Dakota alias this year. Will this be a one-off, or do you think you will keep this alias active with 1 or 2 productions each year? And also, when you're producing Dakota tracks, do you find yourself pulled into the darker sounds for a while, or is it easy to just go back and forth in production style? I hope to do another Dakota album, to be honest with you. Right now I'm working on the next Markus Schulz album, and that's going to take me well into next year, and maybe around next summer, hopefully earlier. But, you know, working on these Markus Schulz artist albums, you work with songwriters and you're writing songs. So it's a really kind of an emotionally draining process. And so I still, when I'm done with the album, just like last time, I still had this creative energy to create stuff, but without all the emotional baggage that goes with it. So I think after I get done with this next Markus Schulz album, I want to do another Dakota album, just because I love creating. I mean, when you're in the studio, it's just those sounds that you stumble across and the melodies, it's like, it just fuels me to create. So at the end of this album process, then I'm going to start on another Dakota album. And, you know, hopefully you guys like it as much as you did this last Dakota album, because I was totally surprised by the response and the enthusiasm from you guys from this project. So thank you very much for that. Next question. Next question from Josh in Hungary. Do you find it difficult to manage the balance between work and rest? You have your gigs, and sometimes you go straight back to the hotel and leave for the airport. So I'd like to know how you get regular sleep and how many hours of sleep your body and brain needs to be rested, and also how you manage to sleep on airplanes. Yeah, that is the hardest thing about this life, this lifestyle, this job, is the traveling and the jet lag. And you know what? To be honest with you, there's nothing you can do. There's absolutely no preparation that you can do. You just have to roll with it. One of the things that I find is when I hit the stage, I get a second wind. No matter how tired I am or jet lagged I am, once I hit the stage, you get your second wind, and before you know it, you don't even think about the time. You're just focused in on the crowd and having a great time. As far as airplanes, it's not easy to sleep on airplanes. Wow, how do I sleep? I don't. I just kick my head back and do the best that I can. I develop a lot of little aches and pains towards the end of the summer from all the traveling. Like my neck, I get this little tightness in my neck. At the end of last summer, my legs would fall asleep for no reason. I would just be sitting here working on the radio show or sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden my legs would just fall asleep. Yeah, you know, you just what I did is I went to a chiropractor, got a massage, and then started going back to the gym again, and that kind of helped. So those are the little things that I do to kind of get through what is the hardest part of this job. Next question is from Kimberly in El Paso, Texas. I was just there. You guys were absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed myself there. And great Mexican food. I mean, I'm from Arizona, or I used to live in Arizona, and they had amazing Mexican food there. But I have to say that El Paso, oh man, I had really good Mexican food there. By the way, Mexican food is one of my favorite types of food. Kimberly writes, I was wondering, what music do you listen to besides EDM? Any favorite band or solo artist? I listen to a lot of chill out stuff, head candy house music, some of the more chill stuff I like to listen to during the daytime. As well, my favorite is classic rock. Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, I mention those all the time. ELO, Manfred Mann, just kind of like a lot of the classic rock bands that used to... when they played guitar, it almost sounded like synthesizers, and some of the more moody stuff. I really enjoyed that. Of course, I'm wearing my U2 shirt today, so U2 is also a favorite band of mine. I mean, they're the best band in the whole world, right? Next question from Wairimu in New York. What are your thoughts on putting a Markus Schulz and Friends Cold Harbor full production in the near future? Actually, that's something that we've been building to. I mean, it takes a lot to put together a show like that, but one of the things that I'm really excited about is we're doing an Armin versus Markus this year in Amsterdam at the Heineken Music Hall on December 5th. Now, you guys that go to Ibiza a lot, you guys know that for the last 2 years, we've did an Armin versus Markus night at Amnesia. And it was a huge success, and Armin and I had a blast. So we've kind of put our heads together and thought that doing a big event like this at the Heineken Music Hall would be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that one. That's going to be, maybe the first step towards doing a Markus solo type show, a Markus Mayhem show. Yeah, please, all you guys, come on out on December 5th at the Heineken Music Hall in Amsterdam. It's going to be really cool. By the way, one of the things that we do is Armin and I trade off. Like, I'll play for 2 hours, Armin plays for 2 hours, then I'll go back on, he'll go back on, and then we close out the night for the last 2-3 hours. We go back to back. He'll play a song, I'll play a song, and I tell you what, that is the most fun. When Armin and I finished up back to back in Ibiza this year, we had the most fun because we'd be like showing each other the CDs, like, look at this one, and we're like, whoa, no way. And he'd put it in the CD player and mix it in, and then I'd go through my CD book and I'd pull out an old classic or something, and we had the best of times. So I think this night is going to be really, really magical. And finally, last question. Could you give us, excuse me, I'm getting a little tangled up here. Could you give us an estimate on how big your music collection is? I've been playing for a long time. And we used to own a record store, And when we closed up the record store, I was really attached to all the records there. So, and I thought that maybe in the future I'd want to open a record store again. So none of the inventory was sold. We just packed up the entire record store and put everything in storage. And between the record store and all the promos that I used to get over the years, wow, I would say I've got well over 100,000 records. And as far as digital media, I've probably got about 10 hard drives full. Probably each hard drive is about 500 gigabytes. So yeah, I've got my music collection is huge. I mean, I'm a music junkie. I just love music, and I never got rid of any of it. So, and as a matter of fact, for this Armin versus Markus show, I'm going to be going through a lot of the old music and the old tracks to try and find some of those really classic, oh wow type records, because I think that's what's going to make that night really special, especially the last, the back-to-back section that Armin and I are going to be doing. Is those classics and those tracks that you haven't heard in a long time. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I know this one went on a little bit long, but these questions were really good, and I was really interested in answering these questions, and so I appreciate it. Next month, write in your questions, and next month I'll answer them. We'll try and figure out a cool place to record next month's video blog. Once again, thank you. I'm Markus. Yo!